Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you a fabulous tres leches cake. It is my recipe for pineapple and toasted coconut tres leches cake. And it's very easy to make. It's 3 steps. You've got the cake, you've got the milks that you put onto the cake, and it soaks up and becomes nice and delicious. And then you've got the topping with the coconut, and it's just going to be fabulous. So I'm going to go over everything with you guys, and let's get started. Alright guys, first we're going to start off with the ingredients for the cake, and then we'll move on from there. What you're going to need for the cake: I've got 5 eggs here, and I've just got them separated. I've got my egg yolks in one bowl and my egg whites in another. I've got some pineapple chunks that I've drained completely, and they've just been sitting there. I want as much liquid off of those as I can possibly get. I've got some sugar, some room temperature butter, baking powder, salt, vanilla, coconut extract, some flour, and about a cup of coconut milk. And for your pan, you're just going to butter just a regular baking dish. I just took the butter left over from the paper on the butter and just buttered that really well. You want something with high sides, so later when you put the milks on, it helps that cake absorb all of that liquid. And you can do this by hand with a hand mixer, but today I'm going to do it in my stand mixer because it's just easier, and I've got a few errands to run today, so it's just going to make my life a little bit easier today. So let's get this cake going. We're going to start off with the egg whites and get that going in the bowl. Okay guys, I've gone ahead and put my egg whites in my bowl. You want to make sure your bowl is nice and clean. You don't want anything in there, because if there's any oil or debris in there, your egg whites are not going to whip up. I've got it fitted with the paddle attachment, so I'm just going to go ahead and whip these until they get to nice stiff peaks. Okay guys, so I whipped the egg whites until they were stiff peaks, and I'm just going to set these aside, and we're going to use those later. In the same bowl, I'm going to add in my butter and my sugar. And I'm going to cream these together with the paddle attachment. Put that on. And I'm just going to cream these together until they're nice and creamy and combined. Okay, so I've got the butter and sugar creamed together. It's nice and well combined. I'm just going to add that back on. And I'm going to add in my egg yolks, all of them, straight to the pan here. Add that in. And I'm going to mix this together until it's well combined. Alright guys, so I've got my egg mixture in there, and it's nice and well combined. So all I'm going to do now is add in just a little bit of coconut extract, about 1/2 teaspoon in there, like that. And then I'm going to add in some vanilla extract. Just a little over a teaspoon. That should be good. And I'm also going to add in my coconut milk. Get that all in there. Like that. Now I'm just going to mix this together until it's nice and combined. Okay guys, this is nice and combined, and I'm just scraping down my bowl again, making sure everything is nice and incorporated. So now all I'm going to do is add in my baking powder and salt to my flour, and I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix. going to add this into my bowl. And then I'm going to drop this down, and I'm just going to mix this until it's combined. Okay, this is nice and well combined. I'm just going to take this off and get all of that batter off of my paddle attachment as best as I can, because this is good stuff. Okay. Now I'm just going to clean this up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so I just moved my stand mixer out of the way, and I'm just giving this batter a little mix just to get up any of the stuff that's stuck on the bottom. Now what we're going to do is add in just a little bit of these egg whites and fold them in so the batter gets nice and light and fluffy. You don't want to break up the egg whites and deflate them. You just want to fold them in until all of it is combined, and then I will meet you right back here for the next step. Okay guys, I've got my egg whites all mixed in. Now all I'm going to do is add in my pineapple, and I'm just going to carefully fold them in, not to deflate the egg whites, because I want this batter to stay nice and frothy. Okay, so I've got my pan here. It's already been buttered, and my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm just going to add this into the bowl here. Get all of that in there. Okay. And I'm just going to level this off as best as I can. Get it all into the sides. Okay, my hands are clean. I'm gonna scrape that batter in there. Okay, now all I'm gonna do is pop this in a 355, excuse me, all I'm gonna do now is pop this in a preheated oven at 350 and bake this about 25 to 30 minutes, give or take, just until it's completely cooked through and nice and golden brown. Okay guys, I just took my cake out of the oven, and it's been cooling for about 5 minutes. All you want to do to this is just poke holes all in the cake, because this is going to help the cake absorb the liquid that we're going to put on it. And I just took it out when the toothpick come out clean. And in here I've got some toasted coconut that I just put in a dry pan over medium-low heat, and I just stirred it constantly until it was nice and golden. And then I just took it out, put it in this bowl, and it is still cooling. I want that completely cool by the time we top the cake, so I'm just going to leave that sitting there. Now what we're going to do is combine our milks. In here I've just got some evaporated milk, and here I've got canned full fat coconut milk, and it's pretty thick, and I want that nice delicious coconut flavor. And here I've got sweetened condensed milk. So all I'm going to do is combine all of these into a large measuring cup. It just helps to pour onto the cake. Get all of that in there. And my sweetened condensed milk. That right in there. Like that. And then you're just going to stir these together until they're nice and combined. That should be good. It's a nice thick consistency, and I want that for the cake. If you hear anything in the background, it's my dog. He is playing with his toys. So that is nice and combined. I'm just going to pull this over here. All you're going to do is just pour this slowly all over the top of your cake. And the holes on the top of the cake are going to do is just absorb all of that liquid. And it's going to get inside that cake and make it nice and moist and delicious. Now it's going to take a while for this to absorb all of the milk. About an hour or so. I usually set it for about an hour. And it absorbs the milk very well. So I'm going to let this sit on my counter for an hour and let the milk completely absorb into the cake, and then I'm going to pop it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, and then I will meet you right back here to make the topping for this cake. Okay guys, my cake cooled. I let it cool completely about an hour after I put the 3 milks on top, and then when it was cool completely, I just popped it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and it has soaked up pretty much all of that liquid, and it looks absolutely delicious. My coconut has completely cooled off, so that's ready to go. All I'm going to do now is add in my cream to a bowl here. And I'm going to whip this until it gets to soft peaks. Alright guys, I've got this at soft peaks. So what I'm going to do now is add in about 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And then I'm just going to mix this together until just under stiff peaks. I'll show you what it looks like when I get there. You don't have to sweeten this if you don't want to. You can completely leave out the sugar and just go ahead and whip it to stiff peaks and put it on your cake. But I'm going to go ahead and add this in and whip this until it just gets just under stiff peaks. Okay guys, so I went ahead and just whipped this right on up to stiff peaks, and it's just under stiff peaks. And that is, if you can see, that is what it should look like. So I'm just going to take these off, clean my beaters off, and then we will top the cake with the whipped cream. Alright guys, so my cream is all whipped up and ready to go. I am just going to put this on top of the cake. Like that. And I'm going to spread this out as best as I can all over the cake. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to top it with the coconut, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. So you get it to the edge of the pan as best as you can. Now all you're going to do is just top it with your coconut. You can do a little, you can do a lot. It is up to you. Alright, that should do it. That looks perfect. Alright guys, so I've got my cake here and it looks delicious. It smells amazing. And if you can see that, it's what it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and have a taste. Get a little bit of that pineapple and coconut. This is absolutely amazing. It's so good, and that pineapple and coconut together, it's amazing. That's so good. If you like pineapple and coconut, you're gonna love this. It's really, really good. But just remember that you can find all of my recipes on my website. It's linked down in the description box. You can go in there and just type it in and it'll pull it right up. So yeah, you guys, I am gonna go enjoy dessert, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.